Hi, everybody. I'm Yunj Kim with MTV News, and thank you all so much for joining me for this exciting conversation where we are going to redefine the concept of modern American womanhood. Joining me are 8 incredible panelists from a variety of backgrounds, and we are going to discuss body positivity, success, social media, and the impact that they have on our mental health. Samhita, how about you? I know you came from kind of a more traditional background with Teen Vogue. So, what does it mean to be successful for you?
I was working in fashion, working at Teen Vogue, and every day was a production, right? It's like every day I had to like have an outfit and be ready to kind of face the world. And there was a commute, and there was meetings, and there was events after, and there was fashion week, and literally overnight all of that stopped. And I woke up and looked around at my clothes and my apartment, and I was like, what am I even doing with this life? Like, I don't really need any of these things. This last year has been very transformative for me in terms of just reflecting on how much I had sacrificed in self-care and mental health in the
Mhm.
service of getting ahead in a corporate environment. And it changed how I felt about success and what I really wanted for my life. I realized that I want to eat 3 square meals a day, that I want to spend time with my family.
Did you find that you had to kind of reevaluate your definition of like financial success versus what nourished you and what fed you personally? Because sometimes those don't always align, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And also just, reflecting on how much money just maintaining our lives as successful women costs, right? And it's
Hmm.
something that like people talk about, but they don't actually, it's a woman tax, right? Just getting my hair done, my nails done, having my makeup done, those blowouts, wardrobe, all of that, and I think that I started spending less money on that because I was going out less. Where I'm spending my money has changed. I'm in my early 40s and I didn't really have a savings, the savings that I should have. And, other things. And it's really like a global pandemic that makes you reflect on those things in your life, on kind of really putting down roots, having stability, taking stock of, what kind of like rainy day cushions you have.
I think like this whole idea of having it all or success is so rooted in capitalism, and it's like so important to name, right? Because this big bad money machine, like as appealing and as like awesome as it may look, it's like built so that we don't feel like we're enough constantly, right? It's rooted in this idea that we're living from a place of scarcity instead of living from a place of abundance.
And do you feel like society's portrayals of womanhood has affected you and your mental health, especially if you identify as queer? Because I know reality is totally different from what we're fed through the media. Amber or Jasmine, I'd love to hear from you on this.
Yeah. Oh, since I was young, never was anything correct. And I think realizing that in my like 20s, honestly, was like, oh wow, like I haven't seen myself and could only grasp on to like 5 characters while growing up that I saw myself in, just really set with me that like I'm not supposed to see myself, just like Kim was saying, like we were set up in a way that, like a Black woman that's plus size is not supposed to find love, so why was I acting like I was going to find love? And on top of that, I am queer, and so that storyline wasn't even out there, so it was just such it's a moment of realization, but it's also something that I stand in with power to be like, okay, great, none of y'all wrote this script for me, perfect, I don't have to adhere to like I can do whatever I want, because there's no, you're not even thinking that I'm a real thing, so let me go here, let me pave this path, let me show you that you can be this and that and struggle and not, and I'm gonna still rise to the occasion just how I do every single day.
How important is your appearance to your mental health, and what do you do about it?
I appreciate the question because I think that, I've been like different sizes over the last 10 years. And when I went into work at, in fashion, like talk about a place that, prizes and elevates thinness and whiteness. And I think that there's this incredible moment right now in kind of the plus size community and that's happening online that is just so supportive. And I think that 10, 15 years ago, I was just like a big brown girl that didn't think I was desirable. And it turned out that like being a larger woman had a really big impact on other people that had never seen a fashion editor, going to Fashion Week and like demanding a size 16 or a size 18. And fashion went from being something that I felt would always hold me hostage to all of a sudden it became this really empowering thing. Like the top like part of echelon of the industry changing the way it should? No, not yet. But like that community in so many ways saved my life and saved my mental health.
I'm like thinking of so many people in the body positive and especially in the plus size community will be like, okay, we know the things that hit, right? Which is me sitting here crying, being like, okay, so today I did this thing and here's my real self. Vulnerability, just like you said. And then there's the other side, which is like, let me post this swimsuit picture that people are going to say that I'm confident for. But also, I'll post a swimsuit picture and I'll lose 2,000 followers. Easy, just like that. But it'll be my most liked photo of the month. So it really just puts you in this position of like, all around, who are we working for here? And that's something that I've really, really worked on in the past year, especially with my mental health and social media and my body, is bringing it back to me and doing things, putting my scope on things first. And I mean, also, not to like drag this on, but like, we also have to think of like the algorithms are racist, are sexist, are, on top of that. So you can be like, I see my friends that are trans, fat, Black, getting like pushed off of Instagram and YouTube and demonetized and off of TikTok, like that stuff is already rooted in racism. So we cannot continue to put so much effort into something that literally starts with racism.
Absolutely. There are so many reasons social media and public perception shouldn't matter more than our mental wellness. That said, in the digital age, how do we create safe spaces to protect our bodies and our mental health?
I just want to give a trigger warning here. What I might say might be triggering to some people. Safety is never guaranteed, y'all. We need to stop saying safe spaces. There's no such thing. If you are a literal human, there is no such thing as a safe space. And I think that what we need to start saying and using is safer space. And we need to start saying how we can create spaces where we can talk about these things. Because guess what? Triggers happen, harm happens, trauma happens. It is inevitable. It is human. We hurt people and we are hurt. So I think adopting language that is more of a, hey, let's figure this out together and it's okay if you mess up is so much better. And so when I think about safety in my body, I think about the option to up. That's almost the point of humanity, is to continue to push ourselves emotionally and push ourselves to grow and become better. And that also comes at a crux of pain, right? And growth. All we can do as humans is attempt to create a safer space for people to hold conflict in discourse.
Totally. I think that's particularly true for women. There are so many things we have to do to feel safe in our bodies because our bodies are often the subject of scrutiny, whether we're walking the street or posting a photo on social media. Ashley, I'd love to hear from you on this.
When you talk about safety, I think about, the catcalling when I'm out, people, trying to hit on me when I'm, in bars and wanting to buy me drinks. And I'm always cautious, like, well, what's your ulterior motive? Like, are you trying to get me drunk? Like, what are you trying to do here? And that's a real thing for women. I think we have to constantly be on guard. We have to watch our surroundings. We're taught to lock our doors and to, keep our headphones turned down when we're out. And there's all these messages of what women are supposed to do to feel safe. And there's not any messages about how do we tell other people not to make us feel unsafe. And so I think that mentality, again, goes back to this patriarchal view of the society that we live in that has never been meant to protect women.
I know, for example, when I was going with sexual partners and etc., I would feel embarrassed to like take off all my clothes because I felt unsexy to some people because some people had shame toward their attraction to my genitals. And that was not my issue, but I took on that issue and it made me feel uncomfortable being naked and even alone in my own house until I had to work on being in love with myself and my body and complete. So I think it's more internal work that we have to do and getting to know our bodies and feeling secure with ourselves and what we want and our desires and not being afraid to ask for it and talk about it.
That's such a good point, Dominique. The internal work is really important. So to sum it up, what does it look like to prioritize your mental health when it comes to success, social media, and our idea of safety?
I think it's always all a balance, right? And like, listen, no matter what, whether it's your career, your relationships, your pleasure in the bedroom, as long as you're putting yourself first, and I don't mean in an egotistical, self-centered sort of way, but in a way that really honors what you want out of life and what's going to make you the happiest.
So for mental health, that means being in therapy for me, so that I can talk to someone who is not directly involved in the scenarios and situations that bother me, having a non-biased opinion and not having people in my family or my friends take on that baggage. And then for work, it's being authentic at work. This is what I can do today. This is what I cannot do today. My emails, I do not respond on the weekends. And it took some time to get there, but I do not, because it's my time. I'm not being paid to work on the weekends. So I am not responding to work emails on the weekends. It looks like, being, transparent about deadlines for me, and reworking that if things change. And in my personal life, again, it's me showing up how I can show up, remembering that I can't pour out of an empty cup.
I had to learn how to do this, but I'm constantly checking in with myself to see what I need to make sure that I am 100%, because if I'm not, I have nothing to give. And to go with what we said at the beginning of this whole conversation is this last year, what I really had to do with myself to be a better version of myself and like literally not, be okay mentally, is I became less goal fulfillment based and more soul fulfillment based.
We all know that being proactive about our mental health is the best option, but sometimes we don't want to be told to go outside and go and do exercise and eat well and write down your thoughts and feelings and go and see a therapist. Sometimes you do just need to have a bed day where you are glued to your phone, watching crap on Netflix and eating all day. And sometimes that's exactly what you need, and that's completely okay. I feel like with social media and everyone going through lockdown, like I do yoga every day and I bake banana bread every day, and still a lot of us aren't doing that, and we're still feeling we're feeling worse because we know we should be doing more for our mental health. But you know what? You got to do you, and you have to take each day by day and live in the present rather than fearing about the past and obsessing about the future, because you're living in that moment now, and that's the most important thing. Like if it means you do all day and you live in your pajamas for weeks on end, you do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You are number one. You have to protect that. But also it is nice to put some clothes on and try. I mean, the best thing you can do is talk to people. Don't be on your own.
Absolutely. And that's why we're here. And sadly, that was our last question, but I hope everybody got something out of this conversation and that it helps move things forward, because as much as we have to celebrate, there's always so much more that we can achieve. So thank you all so much for joining. Make sure you catch part 2 of this Sound On conversation, where we discuss sex, sexuality, and mental health on MTV News' YouTube channel.